Hey guys, it's me, EODGamer here, and this video is going to be a continuation of our introduction to Zenless Zone 0, which we are doing as a series for any of you new players coming to Zenless Zone 0. We're going to use a lot of terms from Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail, and as well as you don't play other games, I'll try to make it like super easy so you can ease into this game right away. Now, Alphay's music store is basically drive tuning. Think of it like relics in Honkai Star Rail and artifacts in Genshin Impact. Drive tuning is basically what we are farming for those godlike crit rate, crit damage kind of gear. There are a lot of other main stats also, but don't worry, I will help you ease into a lot of this by the end of this video. So first things first, what we need to know is this store has multiple levels. It starts off from level 1 when you first start the game, and as you increase like your Internaut level, as you can see here, like Internaut 20, Internaut level 30, and so on and so forth, you will get certain buffs to the shop itself. You can get higher level gear. Internaut level, for any of you wondering, it's like Adventure level in Genshin Impact, and it's like your Trailblaze level in Honkai Star Rail. For any of you who play other games, it's basically your account-wide level. You increase it by doing quests, using your daily energy and stuff like that. Over time, it just goes higher. Slowly, it's something like a time gate sort of thing to prevent people from getting all godlike gear on the first day and stuff like that too. So that is basically what Internaut level is. You start off very early on with just certain buffs. For example, it's a gacha system where you try to like press this button here. For example, if I have this, I can gacha one light cone here, or relic in this case, artifact. This is the animation that we get, really nice. And it comes out like one random piece here. So sometimes it can be higher level or not, depending on the buff that you are at, what stage your music store is. So I intentionally chose a lower level so we can get a bit of a glimpse. So you get a random gear that is being actually like your substats that are also super random as well. But that here is like the lower level ones. So as you go higher and higher, for example level 2, you have a chance to have a selected set that you want drop increases to like 50%. So how you select these sets is, for example, like going to here, you can choose what set you want. We have like crit rate, we have pen, which is like a defense ignore kind of thing. You have impact, which is the amount of stagger like the enemy takes before they like so-called break or like lose focus and stuff. Attribute mastery is like elemental mastery in Genshin Impact. Once you have enough of it, certain things will happen. It's more to do with like elemental effects and stuff. We have a video on that on our introduction guide as well. You can check it out on elements. Crit damage and so on and so forth. So many different sets, so many good sets as well that you might want to farm for certain characters. So if you're like a fire team, maybe this one's going to be a lot better. If you have an electric team, this one might be better, so on and so forth. And as we get higher and higher, you have chance of getting like 5 stars from Internaut level 30. So that is like probably the part where people might want to start farming this a little bit more diligently, because S rank is basically like end game level gear. They scale with like their main stat as well. So S rank is basically the equivalent in Genshin Impact, like your golden relics, your 5-star relics. Honkai Star is like 5-star relics as well. 5-star is S, 4-star is A. That's the equivalent comparison. And for anyone else playing any other game, S rank is basically the best so far. And once you have Internaut level 35, this is where it gets a bit confusing and it's different from Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. So very similar to like Honkai Star Rail, you can kind of like choose your relics or artifacts if you have a special piece. Here you don't have to have a special piece. The beautiful thing about this is all you need to do is, let's say now you see when we took to cost one of these like resource, it only doubles. So for example, let's say I want to partition. Partition means choosing a slot that we are interested in. Let's say I have a lot of these already and I want to focus in on this one here. So as you can see, once I select this partition, this one increases to 10, this one increases to 100 if I do like a 10 pull for relics. So if I remove it, 5, 50, put it on 10, 100. So the cost doubles in terms of the resource that you use, but you're now guaranteed to get one of these slots here. So now that we're talking about partition, which unlocks really at music store level 4, once you hit Internaut level 35, partition basically now tells us the possible main stats we can get. Of course, doesn't mean that if we unselect this, we can't get these at all. You can, but it's just totally random, so you might be a bit more inefficient if you were, let's say, trying to snipe a Woodpecker Electro, the 4th slot here and stuff like that. You guys understand what I mean so far. Now let's look at main stats. For partition 1, or I think it will be likely called P1, P2, partition 2, P3, is all flat main stats, which means these are probably the ones that you don't care as much. You might snipe them a few times if, let's say, you're looking for a specific god piece or anything. It gives you a lot higher chance of rolling the ones that you want. But the ones that most of us might be finding a bit more is like partition 4 with variable main stat. Like here you can see 5 different main stats. This is where also you find crit rate, crit damage. You can take partition 5, which is this is like counting clockwise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is pen ratio, attribute mastery, and the same HP attack defense percentage stats. And partition 6 is the last one here with a total of 6 different stats. So this is theoretically the hardest to get the right main stat because you have theoretically like the most amount of combinations that you can go. First one is like impact, energy regeneration, anomaly rate bonus, and you also have the HP attack defense as well. That is what partitioning is, and that is the cost associated as well. So before that, like whenever we do a certain like number of pulls and stuff, we will actually use these resources, and it's kind of random. You might not always get a 5-star at level 4. Once you are confirmed to get a 5-star, that's when music store level 5 is unlocked. You are guaranteed S rank this strive. But that's when like this advanced one is unlocked, and as you can see, the materials that is required is very different. So some of you might be wondering, how do you get these materials? If you see here, I do not have these golden ones. You actually get this just by dismantling the gear itself. So let's just say I am going to dismantle, for example, a couple of 5 stars. I'm going to dismantle this one here, this. You can see in these icons here, this lighted white dot tells you it's position 1, so it's partition 1. This is like partition 2, partition 3, partition 4, and etc. as well. So I'm going to go here and select 1, 2, 3 because these are theoretically the easier ones to always get back. So I'm just going to do that for as many as I can. I don't really care about the main stat. I'm not going to just look. I might be clicking a godlike one by accident, but just for demonstration purpose, I'm going to go ahead and dismantle 10. Let's just like pick up one more here, and I'll dismantle this. So you pay some credits, but you get this golden ones. This is basically the equivalent of EXP. So in Zenless Zone 0 is very cool because we use EXP to gacha for relics. In Genshin Impact and for most part Honkai Star Rail, we use a lot of the EXP just to level up stuff. Very rarely you can convert over into, for example, dumping into EXP into other stuff. So here they make it like very plain and simple. Your EXP materials can be used as your gacha materials too, so it's super fantastic. At this point, some of you might be curious, what happens if you dismantle some lower tier like 3-star, 4 stars? You will get the corresponding colors. So if I dismantle a 4-star here, you can see it's a purple one. And if I dismantle a gold tier one, it's a golden note here, as you can see, the EXP material. So if I, like for example, click all of these here that I'm dismantling, so I dismantle a total of 9, and let's say if I click this like one that I leveled halfway, so I actually get a refund. So instead of 1 to make it 10, it actually gives me back a certain amount, like let's say 16 here. I'll go ahead and dismantle it for the sake of this video too, just for demonstration purposes. So now we have a very nice amount. I have 54 out of 50. This is of course in the intermediate level. This one unlocks I think at somewhere around, I think it's like here, like internet level 30 onwards, the intermediate one will unlock. Partitioning unlocks at level 35. And 40 you unlock advanced, which is when you can select these. This is of course as of the beta figures. The exact numbers might differ a little bit depending on if they want to tweak it or not, but by and large I think it will be more or less the same thing in official launch, and the guide definitely still stands. So let's go here and do a 10 pull real quick on the intermediate one. To make it easy, let's look at something that is like super distinct. So a color that's probably not found much is this pure black one. So I'm going to just replace it with this like puffer electro, so it's very easy to see when we get it. And I'm just going to like do a 10 pull here. This is of course not the final stage. You can choose which stage you want to do it, but since we are getting rid of this like red gear just for demonstration purpose, let's do a 10 pull and take a look.
Take your time, savor it.
So this is basically the animation is like that. You get these resources, and each of them you can see they have different partitions. We didn't like specifically pick a partition, so it's like totally random now. We have some in partition 6, some in partition 2, 2 here, 4 here, 3 here, 3 here, and etc. These are partition 1, so they have like a fixed main stat and so on and so forth. This one is like partition number 5, which will have a variable main stat and its percentage and the main stat too. So that is like the differences to think about. Now let's just return. You can see here it's roughly around 50% the puffer electro that we selected, some assassin's ballad here and there, and some other stuff, but it is by and large like mostly 50%. Of course RNG could work against you or for you depending on the circumstance. So now the fun one is, of course, once we hit advanced level, this is when you can start doing a pull. Note that is 3, basically you get 3 gold ones. You undo the 3 gold ones, you get a normal one. Or in this case, you can get 1 more extra pull. This means that your 4-star relics, if you think about it, if you dismantle enough 4-star relics or partitions or drives in this case, you can actually roll your 4 stars up to a chance to get a 5-star or S tier, S rank partition as well. So it's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and let's do a 1 pull here. I'm sure this music changes. I have heard different music. It's not always Alfie's daily special. I have to remind myself and check how do I tune it. I think it's the time of day again. Just a fun fact. But yeah, so here is now you're guaranteed this kind of gear. Basically, once you hit Trailblaze or Internaut level 40, you're now guaranteed S rank this drive. So we talked about dismantling, talked about drive tuning, we talked about selecting the different sets already. I've showed you various ones that we can select, for example like the fire set, the aether set, electric set, ice, physical, depending on what your comm is wanting. You can always go to like a different one. I'll just like scroll through in case any of you are wondering what are the different sets available, so that you can always reference to in future if you're planning to. So that's like the end game stuff. The question then you will wonder is, how do you get all of these EXP? Because you need the nodes in the first place to get the relics, right? Or the gear in the first place. This is very easily found in this thing called rally commissions. So you can just go in, this is your house that you are in or your business shop for the main character. And you will see, for example, once you go like chapter 1, chapter 2, let's just go to chapter 1 so I don't like spoil any information. This is when you first start the game, prologue. You have rally commissions in every single one of them. And once you hit like a certain level, different ones will unlock. So you can see like, for example, this one just unlocked for me. It recommends me a certain level, but the rewards, as you can see, it gives you this Aether Plating Agent. It gives you like this purple one, which gives you A rank this drive. So it's not the gold one. You have to like undo the gold ones in order to get more gold. So if you do this mission, you will get this. And if you do like the harder missions here, you see this expert level. So it scales beginner, basic, intermediate, advanced, expert. Then you will get like more of this material, this like 60 materials. So in a sense, any EXP that you use is basically giving up a chance to draw a new partition or relic artifact. And every relic or artifact that you use, it could have been used to level up your gear, which is why I think Zenless Zone Zero deals really nicely. At least you don't have to like think of so many things. One thing is used for multiple purposes as well. And if you're interested in more Zenless Zone Zero content, do check out our other introductory guides. We go in depth like this one here. For the rest of the thing, I'm sure you'll be ready by the time you finish our guide. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. It's me, EODGamer, signing off.